Does it still? Do the lights still work in here?
Yeah.
No, no, if
no,
you
the
plug
light
it, no, it
over
hasn't
took
worked for
out.
years.
It has a regular plug. That's bizarre.
Exactly. هذوم الثكن.
Oh, is this the English?
We
side?
go the English or the French?
Oh, here, let's turn it There we go.
Livraison gratuite.
You come in the shot.
It's better to put in French, so
Yeah.
that's...
Come and take over for me.
Okay.
Here, you take over for me. And should they sit down on the couch?
Sure.
Because this is a good picture. Oh, there you go. Okay, so I'm here because of what I saw during the council meetings, actually. I grew up in Dollard. I only heard of Athens. And it is a story that I knew had a lot of emotional connection with a lot of kids that grew up in Pointe-Claire and in the surrounding areas. But it was particularly what I saw this past Tuesday when I saw you at the council meeting requesting. Well, why don't you tell me what you were there for?
I was basically there to propose a name for a new potential park that's going to be built in the neighborhood. So they built houses where Athens restaurant used to be, and I thought it would be a good idea to name the park after the restaurant, so Athens Park. And I've talked to a lot of people in the neighborhood, and a lot of people are for this idea. So I was told it would be a good idea to present it at City Hall to start the ball, and so the process could start as soon as possible.
So someone never grew up in this area. What is Athens?
Athens is a restaurant, a place that many people come to eat, to hang around, to listen to the music we have at the with the jukebox. And that's it.
Okay, we cut the camera.
And we're making a living.
It's
and
a restaurant.
I make a living.
It's a restaurant.
Restaurant Pizzeria.
It's a pizzeria. So you define it, the full name was Athens Pizzeria.
Athens Restaurant.
Athens Restaurant Pizzeria is the real name. When I can find, I don't remember exactly.
When we picked up the phone, we said Athens Restaurant.
Athens
Hello,
Restaurant,
Athens
but
Restaurant.
officially is Athens Restaurant Pizzeria, something like that.
Okay, I think it was Athens. Athens is good enough. And your relation to the restaurant is?
My relation, I bought the restaurant in 1972 with my brother and my sister from the first, the original owner. The restaurant, I think, opened in 1970.
Athens was located, again, for those who have no idea what Athens might be, where was it located?
The address. What neighborhood?
Who?
Athens. Where were we located?
We're located in Lakeside.
On 102 Walton Avenue.
102 Walton Avenue.
It was in a strip mall.
Yes.
But it wasn't on a major boulevard or anything, right?
No, not in the...
So tell me about the area that it was in. It's a very unique idea, but the strip mall was located right in the middle of a residential area.
Single family homes,
It's,
nothing around it, just a lot of people only from Pointe-Claire or the neighborhood knew it.
But
so
in
if you were
1970, this plaza has a beauty salon, a pharmacy, a cleaner, a barber shop, and
IGA?
and it was IGA and after became Metro, something like that.
Right.
It has a supermarket.
But it blows my
And
mind.
the bank.
The idea of having a commercial space in the middle of a residential area.
There was nothing, even if Fairview was longer, there was nothing for the people to go.
If you take the mall where Toys R Us is, even that came in late 80s. So there was not a lot of places on St. John's like there is now. So a lot of places were local like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know, the guy who started the Athens. But me, I like the area. I like this, and we bought.
Okay, so now George, what is your story? Because your accent is incredibly thick, but you haven't. It's not like you've only been here a week. You've been in Canada for a long time.
Yes,
So what part of Greece are you from?
I'm from Sparta.
It almost sounds fake.
Sparta,
you know?
Peloponnese.
He's a warrior, Spartan warrior.
And that's the irony, right? He owned a place called Athens. Where if you know the history, they used to battle each other a lot.
Yeah.
What was the reason for coming, and how old were you?
When I come, I was 23, 69.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, the math is
69,
okay.
23 years
The math is
old.
okay. Well, it depends
good
on the
at math.
month.
23. My brother and my sister were here. They invite me to come. That's it. The way was that they're doing those years. The families. They have brothers, sisters. They bring.
So they said come
Hey, come. We're okay.
and do what? They must have offered you something to do. They don't just come for the weather.
To work.
You weren't working over there? Were you working? You must have been working already in Greece. 23 years
No,
old.
I didn't.
23 years old.
I finished the army. I was in the Greek army when I finished the army.
How many years in the army did you have to
I
do?
was 27.5 months.
It's funny, eh? My father couldn't go back to Greece because he came when he was 5. Couldn't go back for a long time because of the.
He didn't finish his army.
He didn't even
He
do
did.
it.
Okay, yeah.
I served by my army.
27
duty.
months.
Yeah.
27. It's an odd, weird number.
Usually was 2 years, 24 months. But we have, they kept us, because they don't have a replacement, they keep us more.
God. And so it's almost right out of school, right? You right out of school.
Yeah,
you go
was,
right into the army.
school, yeah.
And then your sister knew you were finishing with the army, so she says,
Yeah,
come over to
yeah.
Canada.
The first one to come was Peter, his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
He imported my aunt, George's sister.
Were they already married?
Arranged marriage.
Arranged
They
marriage.
exchanged photos. They said, okay, we like each other. And she got imported. That's how it worked back then.
There was no swipe. You didn't swipe
no
right
swiping. No swiping.
to see the other. There was no other photo.
No.
It's only the one photo. How did they know the original owners?
The original,
Give me their
the-
names. The original
it's Nicky and Mike Spiliotakis.
Okay.
We know from my brother because my brother's wife has a niece of Mike Spiliotakis.
Okay, so your brother. So you have a sister and a brother.
Yeah.
Your brother wasn't involved in Athens.
No,
He was
yeah,
there.
it was.
He was who initiated us, my sister and myself to get involved in the restaurant.
Oh, okay, I see. So we have your brother-in-law is Peter.
Peter was just working on another place, but his wife was,
And then Peter joined
and he
after.
was helping after work.
Okay.
It's basically, like I said, Peter came first. He brought my aunt, his sister. And then his brother came, Harry.
We should do like a big.
Because
like you should do
you
that.
need to draw this out, like because usually people.
Because
thought-
someone asked me, that's why, because they're not sure about the.
Nobody's ever been
relations
sure.
stuff.
Nobody's ever been sure because they don't know my aunt was the original. It was Peter. They just know Peter. Nobody knows my aunt, but it was my aunt's husband Peter that they knew. That's why.
Because he did the delivery.
Yeah,
and they saw the
exactly. Yeah,
face.
she was in the back making the pizzas. So
Okay, so this is your brother's wife's uncle and aunt
exactly.
open the
Every
restaurant.
restaurant. And after they
brothers?
want something, they have some family, and they offer to my brother if he wanted to buy. And my brother come to us, to myself and my sister, if we want to buy. And I will buy the place.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then you bought it between you, your sister,
Yes.
and your brother.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's the history of it.
I
There,
think
we got it. We got it.
I think we got it. I think-
That's the
Little
story.
drawing.
We got it.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna sit down at the desk and try to draw all this stuff out.
Spiliotakis opened the restaurant. he offered.
No. Now we have the whole story because everybody thought it was 3 brothers and this and that. So You got it.
I got it. And that's when they say bravo.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's all covered. Let me go back a second. When they said come to Canada, what did they say was waiting? What was the convince? Is it just because your family was here? You said, I'll go where
Yes,
my family is?
go the family.
And that's all you needed. That was enough. And whatever opportunity is
Yeah,
there,
what opportunity.
you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So you come, your brother picks you up, you're living with your brother. Or you found your own place
No,
with your army money.
Yeah, my army money, $50. I come with $50. I used to live in Saint Leonard, and I was living with them.
He
when-
skipped Park X. He went from St. Leonard.
I know, because that's where a lot of Italians in St. Leonard.
Yeah, also Italians. Yeah.
Okay. So when you purchased the restaurant, you were doing that commute St. Leonard to Pointe-Claire.
Only for the first 6 months, until I found a place here, an apartment in Del Mar. Was living there, but my sister and my brother, they have their own houses. They live in Saint Leonard until they found some place to here.
So they found a place here as well. So you all moved.
Yeah, after they find a place here. My brother on Eastview, my sister Georgia.
So you lived in the apartments for a little bit, and before you found a house.
Yeah, I lived for 6 months, and I moved with my sister because I was married.
So what were your impressions of Pointe-Claire when you moved here?
I like Pointe-Claire.
Yeah, what was it about Pointe-Claire that you liked?
I like it was quiet. They have good service. The snow was they're clear. There's no fast and everything.
Sound like Montreal.
And we're close to everything. Schools here, parks. The shopping center Fairview was there too.
Yeah.
That's all. It was close. The only they don't have was buses.
You moved from the apartments into a house.
And after my sister bought a house on Spartan.
Right. Which is a total coincidence.
Yeah.
I mean, can you tell me about this? That there's a street called Spartan
Yeah,
Crescent?
they go. What's coincidence?
It's a coincidence.
Right next to the restaurant.
I know, it's next to the
Yeah.
restaurant. It's called Spartan Crescent. And
They
you're from-
found
And he's
this,
from Sparta.
They found this house and they bought, and I was living with them, and I moved over there.
But this is remarkable.
And that's another reason why the park needs to be named Athens.
Athens.
At the
They're
intersection
going to
of
think
Spartan
it's going to be
Crescent.
the Greek quarter of
Yeah.
Northview, Pointe-Claire. When you took over the restaurant, did you keep everything the same?
Yeah, we kept it the same for all those years. Yeah. Except we did some painting, that's it.
1972 to now, and the place is still pumping out those great pizzas, eh?
Yes,
I-
I have customers for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of the old people still come back, eh?
Yeah.
This is great, and I guess you get a lot of new customers, all the kids at the
New
school.
customers, new kids, new teenagers, everything.
But you know what? The good thing for me and for a lot of people, as I look around here, it hasn't really changed a lot because it's the traditional
We
pizza.
have the jukeboxes with the all vinyl records.
Yeah, that's true, eh? And the vinyl records are still in the back in the master jukebox.
Yeah.
Here's the jukebox in the kitchen of Athens Pizza with the actual 45 still in there, and it still works like it used to work, eh? Perfect. And here's where the magic is created.
It works here too, now.
Sure, eh?
And look at the fridge.
And the fridge, the old fridge.
Oh yeah, the real old fridge, eh?
Wood, fine wood from West.
You know, you could sell that fridge to a bar for about $10,000, I think. That's beautiful. We'll get people to bid on all these beautiful artifacts, and everything is still on special.
And you kept the menu the same.
The menu would change sometimes. So we took out, so we see what things that are going on, what things they're not selling, and that's it.
Because tastes evolved over time. I looked at the first menu, and it had much more items. And even if you look at the opening hours, it used to open till 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. And imagine a little strip mall in the middle of a residential area, open till 1 a.m. You can't even find a pizza joint now open past 11 sometimes.
Well, yeah, even the Pointe-Claire shopping center, the plaza, was
Yeah.
open till like 9 o'clock every day.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
now everything's closed at 5 o'clock.
Exactly. So it was a different time.
Sometimes people from the tavern, they come for pizza and from the manoir over there and tavern or the tavern.
Would get the bar crowd would come in.
Not so many, but some they come, yeah.
But you weren't a restaurateur before Athens. Athens was your first
Yes, my first.
restaurant.
Yeah.
But did you work something before Athens?
I used to work, yeah, in Woolworths.
At the diner.
Woolworths cafeteria in the kitchen, up in the kitchen. But the restaurant I used to work in Woolworth, in St. Catherine and McGill and University.
So you're telling me the success that you brought to Athens was based on 2 years of Woolworth's diner. Because you go from no job to 2 years of Woolworths in a brand new country, okay? And don't get humble on me now. You work 2.5 years at Woolworths, and then you purchase a business that you run for how many years?
My brother used to work at Woolworths. He knew better than myself, and my brother-in-law too knew the business. And
You know that being an employee somewhere and owning a business is very different.
yeah, I know, but we have to start. We have to do something.
So what was the big challenge when you became an owner of a business? What did you think was the biggest challenge?
We have to make good service and to the people and make good food. That's all.
What was most important to you?
What else?
Making money.
We know. My brother-in-law knew about the cost and how to make make.
He understood
pizza.
food cost.
Yeah,
ordering the food
Yeah,
and-
we know for the cost.
Your brother-in-law understood that.
Yeah, and he teach me, and I knew how to do that.
And so what was important to you was keep the customer
how-
always happy.
Yeah, that's it.
And so this is interesting because it wasn't just any customer. No, it was any customer. It wasn't just, let's say, families. It was anybody that came through your door, no matter who they were or what they were ordering, you treated everyone the same.
Yes, every customer was equal. Every customer.
Even if they just ordered
even-
a water.
That's it.
Because there were those.
Before, the guy who opened the restaurant, he didn't let the kids come to the restaurant and get in. He didn't serve sometimes.
Can I go? I want to just jump back quickly because it's not just it was opened in the 70s. There's another interesting thing about this. Rob Carr, who you know,
Yeah.
okay? I did a video with him, and there's a quote that he said to me in the video. He says, you know what? Let's run the quote.
I remember my mother counting how many kids lived on our street. It's a crescent. I don't know how many houses were on that street, I guess 16 or something. At one point, there was 108 children on our street, just on our street. So that's why everything was booming and growing, because of the young families. I mean, and I'm an only child, but there were people on that street that had 5, 6 children in each family, you know, so.
Wow. Athens, being in the middle of a residential area, in the 70s, there must have been kids all over the place.
Pointe-Claire in the 70s has too many teenagers.
Too many.
Too many.
That's the quote of the video.
What? What, you laughing?
No, it's just the way you said it. I understand what you mean, but you
many.
make it
And
sound
every-
like
and every-
It's a good thing.
And every garage has a band.
Ah.
Every garage has a band. And they don't have to, and those kids, they don't have where to else to go. And when I let them to get in, they come in the after school late. They eat their pizza, they eat their fries, they eat their hamburger, the drinks, they listen to the music, and that's happened. And after they tell their family, and the family order pizzas, and that's we make the business.
So tons and tons. These are the baby boomers, right? They're the baby boomer kids.
Me.
Well,
46.
46. Well, you're the first year. That's the first year it started. But these are the kids born, I guess, in the 50s, late 50s.
Yeah,
They were young teenagers at that point.
and all those kids, they're from families. They used to work for Air Canada, Canadian Rail, all of those.
The CN,
The
and
CN,
a lot of the industrial
They are-
park was.
yeah, they're pilots. We have pilots here. All those families.
Basically, back in about 76, 77, we used to go hang out at Athens after work, kind of like a gathering place, and everybody would figure out what they're going to do for the night or where to go. Or so I was hanging out there for probably almost a year. And then in early April 77, we were hanging out in front of Athens again one night. And one of our friends that showed up had his girlfriend with him, and she had brought Robin with her. And I thought, oh, she's kind of cute looking. And I don't know, we kind of talked that we went out, I think it was a quarry that used to be out west of past the old Detroit Bridge there. And went out, hung out there for the evening with a big bonfire going, everybody partying, and kind of got connected and been together ever since.
And they make kids, and all those kids, they went very well. They were school, but we have bad apples too. But all those school, the kids, they went to school, they went to university, and still they come to my place. They have to, but they behave. I told them, you can be in the restaurant, but you have to behave. Listen to the music. No bad things. That's it. And that's why they love me. And we give advice to them, and they talk to them what they do when something wrong, everything. Even the parents that are coming.
The parents preferred
The
that
parents,
their kids would be
because
at the
they
restaurant.
open the bars, open some more. Say we prefer to be our kids to be in your place than to go to the arcades where some arcades in Dollar des Ormeaux want to be here. That's
Did you know a lot of the parents of the kids who were coming in?
I know the parents as kids, they see it at the street, and they talk to me. How are you? I talk. How's John? How's Peter? And all the names. The kids, even the parents say, "My kids is in Japan. They ask you about you."
No, wait a minute. Did you know the names of the kids, or did you not know the names of the kids?
I'm so many kids pass, but I know many names. I know many names.
And if you didn't know the girls' names,
What?
I know where you're going with this.
I call them Susie.
where did Susie come?
Just like that. Hi, Susie.
Just like that. Is this something that from the beginning that you started?
Yeah, when the kids start, yeah, we call Susie. Hi, Susie. That's it.
I think one time he said it to one girl, and she's like, "How'd you know that was my name?" He was actually right once.
And what about the guys?
Eh? The guys know. If I know the names, I will tell the name. But the girls, they don't. We make fun. That's they enjoy that. Nobody get offended. Not from the.
But did they? Part of your character, George, from Athens, it must have helped with the vibe that
I'm a funny guy.
You're a funny guy, but you also have a thick accent.
Eh?
You know,
What's the thick accent?
He sounds Canadian. Come on.
Eh? What thick?
Yeah, I'm the one with the accent. No, but it adds to the character of who's at Athens, you know? Right?
Yeah.
Your accent. Your Greek accent.
Yeah, I'm a Greek. I have a Greek accent. Yeah.
So when you call them Susie and stuff,
Yes, I call Susie.
yeah, it adds to the whole.
And sometimes to the guys, I will give some nicknames, but they were telling them no bad names, just funny names, and they know.
Like what, for example? Think of an example.
Matt King.
Yeah, yeah.
You know Matt King. I call Matula.
Which means?
That's it.
No,
Any
it
name.
means I. Like it could be I. Mati.
Mati.
Matula. Oh, no, just like that. Any.
It's a slang
I
from
made the name.
No, he just made it up. Like
I
that.
made that.
Oh, you just made it up.
Yeah.
One day he's there and you.
Yeah, he called. He called. He was calling for to order. Hey, here is Matula. That's it.
Now, would he be the only Matula, or would there be
the
other
only Matula.
Okay. So everybody had a name, or were there?
Not everybody. Some more. Yeah.
So the
But,
guys had specific
Yeah, we
nicknames,
have some guys who.
but the girls were
All Susie.
Susie. Okay. You were told that somebody gave birth in a hospital, and you went into the room in the hospital, not the delivery room, but the, after you give birth, you go to the other side.
Neonatal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she had just given birth, and you went to go see her and the baby. Heidi.
Heidi and
Steph.
Hasta la Verdigus. I'm
Yeah.
calling him Hasta la Verdigus.
Yeah. So what was the story? You saw Steph?
Hasta la Verdigus. His name is Lithuanian, and it's ending Vicus. And I call him Hasta la Verdigus. That means something we don't understand. Just in Greek like that. And he was laughing. It was Zanakavicius, his name is.
Yeah.
Zanakavicius.
And you called him?
Hasta la Verdigus.
I don't even know what that means.
Did you make his last name and you made it even?
Even longer, yeah.
Hasta la Vic.
Most of the nicknames were longer than the actual name.
Yeah. Heidi's still in the hospital, and he saw you, and he says,
Yeah, well, I was in the hospital for something, and I saw Steph, and he said, Heidi's up, and I want to see her.
He had found our room and was the first person to meet my firstborn. It was crazy. We lived at Athens. It was basically where we went every Friday and Saturday night. We were there all the time. It was where we lived. George and Peter just let us come. George took care of kids for years because we had no money. We would go in there and do nothing. We would just order water. And he would still let us sit there for hours. But when we became, older, 16, 17, we realized during those first few years what he allowed us to do. I started going back and tipping him twice as much just to cover the years that I didn't tip him because I was 14, 15 and didn't know about what I was doing.
Wow.
It was a really special time. I could walk in there alone and sit at the bench and George would come sit with me and ask me how I am. They were family.
Even some, they bring their kids after they left the hospital to bring the kids to see them.
First stop, Athens.
When she was in the hospital,
Who?
Kelly, what's
Autumn?
Autumn Kelly.
Autumn Kelly was in the hospital when they has a baby, and she talked with her friend. This guy was a junior hockey player. He played for the Ontario League. Wallach, his name was. And he came to my place, George. Autumn has a baby. He begged me because they were talking, and I talked to her. Not I've been on the hospital. I talked with her.
And this baby is
Samantha, her name.
Queen Elizabeth's first
Who is a cousin
grandchild.
from
Great grandchild. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the first great-grandchild.
Great grandchild. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And did she bring the baby to Athens?
Yeah, when she was coming to visit her mother.
So you've had royalty.
Yeah, it was there. He has 2 kids.
And did their brother-in-law, Peter, was he a comedian? Like, did he tell
Oh,
jokes?
he
or-
was
What was his?
He was selling always jokes, and parimispos and proverbs. He was telling that lots of stories. He was telling lots of stories. And enjoy him because all the stories he was saying to them was advice.
So you're saying that you came, you noticed there's kids all over the place, and you're wondering why are they not why are they not customers? So when you purchased the place, right away was it one of the first things you did was
Allow the kids to come in. Some they don't have money. what? They come to see their friends. I'm going to throw them out. No, I let them stay, quiet. The other kids, they have the food, and they enjoy. They listen to the music.
Like a bar where everybody has to
Exactly.
have one drink, so to speak.
And that's one thing that differentiated Athens from all the other places. It was not only a restaurant, but a real hangout spot. So that's something that set it
Because not
apart.
every kid, not every kid is in the drama club or into sports or into extracurricular activities. Some kids aren't in any of that. And they needed a place. Someone said that about Topaz, actually, before Athens opened up. They said the only thing that existed really at the time was if you were into sports.
Mm-hmm.
If you were into sports, there was stuff available for you. But if you were not into sports, there was nowhere for you to go.
Yeah, there was nothing. No video games, no activity.
There was nothing at all, nothing to go to for the kids. They have the band. They play the. That's it.
One guy told me Athens was the original Facebook. That's where you had to go to find out what happened. If you didn't go to Athens, you don't know what's going on in the neighborhood.
I'm going to show you the poem. It was a competition. It's John Rennie.
Are you going to read it with your Canadian accent?
No. I'm going to show. And this guy.
Yeah.
The competition was my favorite place. And this guy wrote, I don't know, a poem. And the other friends of his brought to me, not him. And still I have the paper they brought me.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised, yeah.
But you know how much Athens means to these kids, though?
Yeah.
But you were still surprised.
Yeah, surprised for a kid to write like that, He means to him something like that.
You know that he's the music teacher at St. John Fisher Senior.
The guy who wrote the poem.
The Dave Arles.
He's the music teacher.
It's a music teacher. I'm going to ask.
And he's taught a lot of my kids, and he just won a CBC music competition.
Oh, really?
Because this guy was a little shy, Dave.
So Athens was way more than just a restaurant. It meant a lot to us teenagers in the 90s that lived in that area. George, thank you so much for all that you did for us back then, giving us a home away from home and a safe haven to meet, to hang out, drink a coffee, and even without buying a coffee, you always let us in. I love you. I hope you're well. And thanks again. You're the best.
In the 80s, later 80s, you were getting they called themselves, do you know what they called themselves? These
The
kids?
rebels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's they call was not they do nothing. Just they have a name and they big thing. The guys were okay.
See, they're good kids.
They are good kids.
They called the West Island.
But don't forget the 80s. They have the other problem they're doing with the St. Thomas High School. They have big problems. They have always fight over there.
But not at Athens.
Not in
After the fight, would everyone come back to Athens
no.
for a pizza?
They come all the time in Athens.
It was a neutral zone, Athens.
Well, okay, but they would always meet at Athens first, and then they would go downtown or to a party.
Yeah.
Or...
Even when they graduate, they have to pass from Athens. The limousine has to pass from Athens to see me.
They wanted to take a photo with my dad with the
When
limousine
they went to graduation.
for prom and stuff like
What
that.
about weddings? There was a wedding picture that was done at Athens too one time.
Before their wedding, they'd come before the weddings too to come take a photo with you.
Yes. We treat the kids properly. We serve, we advise, we give something to do. Say, hey, go this, that, don't go this, that, don't do that. And always
And they listen.
They listen. You know, in 1976, with the referendum, do you know, before all the students from John Rennie and Lindsay Place, they come over there. Oh, I hate the French, I hate it, I don't want to. Hey, listen to, it's going to be good for you. Those French kids, they're going to know one language. You have the chance to learn French and English. English you know, but you know, you have to learn another language. You have advantage. And after when everybody left and they went to Toronto, to Vancouver, and they come back, they trying to learn French some. So he said to me, George, I remember was telling us, we don't listen to you.
So you're telling me also that you were also the only guy with a positive attitude in 1976.
Yeah,
no wonder people
He's
gravitated.
open-minded.
You were the only guy who was smiling. Okay, I know it's hard to kind of put it in words, you know, but how does this make you feel? Does it make you feel that you
yes,
because it was important for you to make everyone feel special?
But we did something good for those kids. I say kids, okay? I did something wrong. I did do something wrong. We try to make good people.
But as a businessman too.
Yeah, I enjoy because they live in, they buy things. Their parents will buy pizza at the houses. Those kids, they come to the restaurant to buy, to stay, and they make it.
So it had a trickle effect.
Yeah.
Building loyalty.
Yeah.
Building loyalty. What was the most popular thing in the restaurant?
Pizza. The pizza was okay. We have good hamburgers. They make good hamburgers. The fries, they like the fries, and they have the hamburgers. With sauce, yeah. You know the autumn when it's coming here, she has to eat cheeseburger or poutine or fries with gravy. That's all. Her favorite.
There was also the milkshakes that were
The
very
milkshake, we have the
popular.
milkshake.
Yeah, was the milkshake was it original when you bought the store? It was already there, the milkshake machine?
There was no this big, no. They have a small one.
Oh, the
Small
brown one.
This
The brown one.
I bought from.
Oh, so that was an upgrade he did.
And I make Coca-Cola float.
Oh my God!
I never had those.
Coca-Cola floats, it was like the milkshake. I put ice cream and I put Coca-Cola and I mix and they like.
That's old.
They ask for that.
That's old school. That's old school.
Yeah.
The and root beer floats.
Root beer, Coca-Cola, and when Dr. Pepper came to Montreal, you know Dr. Pepper, the drink.
Of course.
The drink.
No, not the
know?
not the pediatrician.
My place was the number one seller, Dr. Pepper.
What are you laughing for?
I've heard somebody else say this too.
About their place?
Yeah, but no, about
about
Athens,
him.
about Athens, yeah.
My place was there.
You see, this is the problem. I only have so many batteries. You tell me things like this, and now I want to ask 1,000 questions about Dr. Pepper. In the whole time you owned the store, do you remember any song that was played too much for you?
There are so many. Hotel California.
Oh yeah.
That was playing very.
A lot.
Yeah.
Up until the 90s, yeah. That was one of the
Hotel
most.
California. That's. Even we have the guys from April Wine, you know the band? Brian Greenway was a good customer of me.
It's really unfortunate you didn't have a wall.
Wall of Fame.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was a John Rennie student.
Yes.
I guess he lived in the area.
And the other guys.
And the first close was when?
May
2014.
2014.
May 31st, 2014. Yeah.
Was it just it wasn't working anymore and
No, he wanted to retire, actually.
We were tired of this, and we have a plan of weddings after.
I was getting married in
You're
the summer.
getting married and this. That's it. But we're getting tired too.
you were getting tired?
He used to work too many hours a day. He used to work 12 hours, 6 days a week for how many years? You know, it's not easy.
And what was the decision to reopen?
The decision to reopen after the 2014.
It was your idea?
Yeah, it was my idea.
You wanted to take it over?
Yeah, we wanted to see if we can make it work
We
part-time.
have to try.
The equipment was already there, the restaurant was there, the customers were already there. So why not give it another shot with a reduced work schedule?
And
Well, it was working, but eventually we knew that the strip mall was slated for development. The equipment was very old and from the 70s, and the building was also very old. So
And
we
then we
either
have
had to
problem
upgrade.
with the building, no heating sometimes, all that.
so you were looking at a huge investment for
Exactly.
for a mall that indefinitely was going to be torn down.
Exactly. And we also thought if we opened somewhere else, it wouldn't be the same thing.
No.
So it was just time to close.
So when you had to close the place, indefinitely the second time.
No, the first time was the big thing. The
First time
second time when we closed this day that finished.
We didn't announce it the second time.
They were
Just,
the first time.
How did you want to tell the public that you were?
To tell you, I was feeling bad and I didn't want to tell, but I don't know, somebody find out and he put in the...
No, you put a sign.
Yeah, I put a sign
for
and we're
sale.
going to, for sale.
That's how he informed
That's
everybody.
how you did it.
Yeah.
Like that. And
2 months before, I think, 2 or 3.
no.
Just a short period of time
Short
before.
period. And they find out. And they're coming, they're calling me. Even when they close, we want to come. And too many people come, even they come from the west, from Toronto. They bring me cards, they bring me wine, they bring me liquor. With thank you notes, you know.
And that was the time I set up the small Facebook page for it. Again, announcing that, yeah, it's closing. And it took momentum also a bit from the Facebook page as well.
People started sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it a page where people can post their
Yeah.
work?
Well, they could have...
A group. It was a group.
No, it was just, like the official page of the restaurant.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
business page. So
That's
I
you
post...
just, that's the open it and wow, you put a for sale sign.
Yeah.
And were there any takers?
Pardon me?
Were
No, to tell you, I was feeling bad to sell, you know. I didn't want to trick the guys. I know the occupants was old. I knew the situation is going to be with the building. I don't want to get advantage of any guys.
Okay, so let's circle back to the very beginning of this conversation. Now it's been closed now.
8
What,
years.
8 years?
8
Yeah.
years.
8 years.
One day I got the idea. I was seeing the news about the new Tony Proudfoot Park and that they named it. There was a process behind it. And something clicked in my head. I'm like, wait a second. If they're going to set land aside next to the restaurant, why can't we have a process there too and have it named Athens for the restaurant? So initially after I got the idea, I'm like, let me get some support behind this. So I went door to door in the neighborhood, all the streets around the restaurant, and I got over 200 signatures door to door. And at the same time, I did an online petition, and I got close to 500 signatures in support of this initiative.
Is there an amount that the city said you had to have, or just
No,
was there a goal?
They didn't specify an amount.
No,
They just said there's a process that needs to be followed, and I was just trying to. That's why I was at council meeting to find out what needs to be done. If it starts from them, from us, from the administration.
So now it's let me see. It's March 21st when we're doing this interview. Where are you at right now with the process?
So far, I presented twice at city council. From what I saw, there's at least 2 or 3 councilors that are in support of this and would like to see it done. The mayor seemed open to it as well. I guess the next step is to, again, keep going to council meetings and see when they're going to start the process. But the other thing is that people in the neighborhood would also like to see an actual park, not just the name there, you know? So they'd like to see maybe a playground installed for all the kids in the area too. So it's kind of like 2 requests that we've made to the city.
Yes. Where do you think the door is?
Yeah, look.
Let's see if we have the same opinion. I think
That, yeah. It's coming. This was empty space.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And where the street goes straight, go the path over there,
Yeah.
Maybe it's the other side of this house was the sidewalk of the plaza, and the building was coming up to here. No, the sidewalk was coming to straight from the other street, from the other group.
Okay.
It's
The
still on
sidewalk is
Google.
basically where the path was. So, see the pedestrian path?
That's oh yeah.
So he's talking about the sidewalk here.
That's
Oh,
the
so it's a
sidewalk.
bit. So it's a bit more.
Yeah.
That's a bit more. So it's in line almost with the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it feel to look
To look what
well,
is here
how
now.
many years? 40.
I have from
42
72
years?
was until we close.
44 years.
44 years.
44 years, and
Yeah.
now you're looking. It's like
And now I like.
it's like a grave site. It's like a graveyard.
No, I don't know. The people they like the city they like that. What we can do? I become a grandfather. I have 6 grandchildren. My pleasure is to take them to the pool, to the soccer games at the summertime. Sometimes to library with my daughter-in-law. To so many things Pointe-Claire have. Birbili? Τι κάνει ο Βιρμπίλης, τι κάνει μωρέ, τι κάνει, πού είναι αγόρι που έχω εγώ, πού είναι αγόρι. That's, he has my name,
Ella, help me. Athens.
How do you feel about the park being named Athens?
Yeah, it's going to be nice, but you know, if the regulations, I mean, no, it's okay for me, you know. But I like to see that over there.
When I was doing the
Because I think in this area, I think I did something good for the people, for the kids and everything. That's all.
What do you think?
I guess you went from being such a kind of an important figure in the community. Is there a bit of loneliness or?
I'm okay. I feel nice. It's okay. The only thing, I don't miss the work. I don't miss the work. I miss the people.